Okay, so I thought I'd start this lesson, this very short lesson of the practice corner at, believe it or not, the drawing board. And in this one, I want to do a brief recap of what we've done in terms of rhythm before we look at some case studies to finish off the series. So up till now, we've looked at primarily chord types and some rhythm involving basic eighth note feel. And what I mean by eighth note feel is there are 8 attacks in each bar. So, for example, in a bar of 4 counts here, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is signified by these stroke notes here. So, or slashes, or rhythm slashes as we call them. So 1 and 2 and so on, 3 and 4, and giving us 8. And we can phonetically sound this by using conical. So again, I'll put a link in the top corner there for conical, which was studied at the marker board last autumn. And we can use this to go taka, so taka, 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 taka. When dealing with strumming patterns, or when you're looking at down strums and up strums, as we've looked at so far in various tablature books or study books, you'll see markers that look like this. So this kind of upside down sort of staple, if you like, really signifies a downstroke. So typically downstrokes occur on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are downstrokes. Not always, but to begin with, usually they are. And this is often matched by the upbeat, so to speak, so, or the offbeat, if you like, by this V symbol, which is an upstroke. So 1, it's kind of that approach I like to sort of see when you're playing offbeat, and that's usually an upstroke. But again, it doesn't have to be. But for now, we sort of look at it as it is, or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, taka, 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 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. In this lesson, we're now going to make this a bit more complex and look at 16th note feel and also triplet swing feel type rhythms, and apply this to a simple progression before we can move forward. In today's first quick example, we're going to look at applying some 16th note feel. And what I mean by this is now we have doubled the amount of notes per bar, or at least a 4/4 bar, from 8th notes, and turn this into 16 notes, or 4 attacks roughly per beat. And this is usually symbolized by, rather than a 1 and 2 and 3 and approach, sometimes you may see it as 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and, or in a conical approach, taking this last 2 bars here as an example, you may say takatimi, 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 takatimi. In this particular example, we're going to look at simple 2 bars worth of G, followed by 2 bars worth of the chord C, followed by a final bar of the chord D, resolving into the G chord. But we're going to use this as a repeating strum pattern for every bar. So in this one here, I want you to do basically a simple downstroke on 1 beat, and the one there. This here is a pickup note, so basically it's a very quick. So when you sound it, you may see something like this phonetically. So it'll be ta ta mi takitimi takitimi ta ta mi takitimi takitimi. The type of strum pattern we're going to use, especially for this pickup note, will be an quick upstroke followed by a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it'll be down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, this is best probably demonstrated by actually going to the practice corner and looking at the separate progression using this strum pattern. Okay, so in previous episodes of the practice corner, we have mainly focused on chords and basic strumming patterns in 8th note fashion. And in this episode, we're now going to advance this and look at some strum patterns, or particular right hand technique involving 16th note feel and triplet feel. So what I mean by 16th note feel to begin with is that for every beat in a 4/4 beat C, every beat has 4 attacks on the strings. So what I mean by that, for example, we have a metronome here in the background going at 95 BPM. Is 8th note feel in previous episodes would be basically ta, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or if we were to mute the strings here and approach it this way, it would sound a lot like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is what we call straight or 8th note feel. It's also worth bearing in mind that conical will also help in this approach as well, which I will post a link to a previous episode we have done on that. Taka and takatimi. Takatimi is useful for 16th note feel. So for example, here every beat will have 4 attacks. So we can go takatimi, 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 takatimi. And this would be a lot like this. 4 and takatimi, 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 takatimi. This is quite useful for, say, if you were strumming along with this. If we focus on the strumming pattern we just discussed at the marker board, or the, I keep on forgetting the name of this, what did I call it now? Has it really been that long since I've done a lesson? I've forgotten the name of what I called it, the drawing board, that's it, I got there in the end. So if we were to just basically take our 3-chord progression and focus on the 16th note feel that we discussed on the board, we would probably get something that would sound a lot like this. 2, 3, 4, and that's in 16th note feel. You should go the takatimi, takatimi, jang, dang, takatimi, takatimi, jang, jang, takatimi, takatimi. Very jangly, quite nice though. Very busy rhythm. I quite like 16th note feel for that reason. You could also do fancy tricks with that if you want to get really fancy with it and mess around with muffled strings that we discussed in, I think it was episode 3, I think muffled strings, maybe 2, I'm not sure, but again there'll be a link up there. But you could take the bar chords, which we studied in episode 3, I think, again there will be a link for that as well, but if we take the bar chord variants of that for G and C and D, you can get some fancy licks or riffs in a way really that'll come out with this in a rhythmic sense. So again, that makes the rhythm a bit more interesting. It's a bit more hard to describe what exactly is going on there, but you will get a good feel for it in a way really if you sort of again have a good daily practice regime, and you'll be practicing that in no time. And of course it depends what type of rhythm player you kind of really want to be. In the final example today, we're going to take the same chord progression, which was of course 2 bars of G followed by 1 bar of C followed by 1 bar of D, resolving back to the G. Only this time we're now going to apply triplet feel or swing feel to this, which again was alluded to last autumn in Back to the Drawing Board, which I'll post a link at the corner if you want to know more about the theory of this. You may think in general that triplet feel, or what I've written here on the drawing board, may lend itself to 8th note feel as there are 8 attacks in each bar. It's sort of true in a way really, but that's considered straight. This is considered swing. So effectively what you've done here is taken the 8th note feel, but you've widened the gap between each of these beats here, which gives it its swing, and you've narrowed the gap between the offbeat note and that of the next beat, downstroke if you like, really giving you a swing. And this will give you some of a rolling egg effect, sort of gidum, 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 gidum. And we can again phonetically sound this by using conical by going ta, tita, 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 tita. And effectively this here is your, again, pickup note if you like, really leading you onto the next bar. So I think in the next example I use a pickup note to start off with here, so to tap straight away. And again, you'll see this represented by the staple and the V being down, up, 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 down, and so on. So again, let's jump back to the final thing as well, is that they are also grouped, as I should mention. You'll see them in tablature grouped by 3 over each of these, meaning they are linked by a triplet sort of time interval, if you like, as I mentioned, when you widen the gap and narrow the gap between certain beats, giving you that swing. It's just something to be aware of when you're studying tablature. Anyway, let's go back to the practice corner to discuss, or as well demonstrate how this will sound using that progression. For our final mini little sort of, this is going to be a short mini episode before we start looking at case studies and accentuation. I might do accentuation in the next episode where we accentuate notes and then maybe look at 2 case studies to finish off the series. But for our final one, we will now discuss swing. And what I mean by swing is you need to get a habit of triplet feel. And this is where there are 3 attacks usually on each beat. And you usually do this by counting in 3s, or an easy way is again conical. So, example 2, 3, 4, and tackety, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, tackety, 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 tackety. So we're taking the same chord progression we used before for the 16th note feel, and now applying a triplet swung rolling egg effect rhythm, if you like, to it. We'll get the progression to now sound a lot like this. 2, 3, 4. And again, be careful this one, as you have to change chord a little bit earlier with that one. But again, with a bit of practice on a daily basis, you'll get used to that idea. We can also do that with a power chord approach. So again, if we take like the same chords, but this time not use the bar chords, use the power chords, you'll get the same type of effect. 2, 3, 4. Sloppy there, of course, on the downstroke there, really, but you get the general feel for this in a way, really, and that type of strumming rhythm belongs to blues, shuffles, and that sort of music. Anyway, let's make our way back to the drawing board to conclude this lesson. So that concludes this sort of somewhat short intervallic lesson, if you like, of Practice Corner. I would like to take probably one more lesson to look at accentuation of notes and syncopation before we perhaps then look at some simple case studies, tying up what we have learned in this lesson series and applying them to learning real life songs or generating your own type of songs. But in the meantime, any feedback you have, please give a comment, a like, or even a dislike, or if you feel that way inclined and want to join the journey, please give a subscription. But in the meantime, happy playing, keep practicing, and I should see you in the next episode.